Good morning. You're now listening to Kingston Community Radio, airing on FM 92.5 and AM 920 WGHQ, Kingston, New York. This programming is brought to you by our listeners and corporate underwriters who are interested in presenting local community radio. The opinions expressed on this program do not represent those of Pamel Broadcasting or Kingston Community Radio. Listeners are encouraged to send in $10 per month to help bring this program to you and mail your contributions to Kingston Community Radio, Post Office Box 4364, Kingston, New York 12402. For more information or to donate online, visit our website at mykcr.org. And good morning for this terrific Tuesday. This is Dan Gatis starting you out here. Thank you for being with us, tuning in, and sharing the morning with us from 7 to 9 a.m. every weekday. And it is Tuesday, January 25th, and 25 degrees here in Uptown Kingston. We'll be right back after these messages.
Hi, I'm Steve Thomas for Habitat for Humanity Restore. Habitat Restores are nonprofit home improvement stores and donation centers that sell new and gently used furniture, building materials, and appliances to the public at a fraction of the retail cost. The Ulster County Restore at 406 Route 28 in Kingston needs your donations. Call our hotline at 845-853-7499 to schedule your free pickup. And thanks.
I can't believe he found them.
He seems sorry.
We very clearly told him not to look up there.
I'm honestly impressed that he was able to do it.
Right? What, did he balance on that big chair?
Yeah, I mean, I guess he'll just know what his gifts are this year.
I really thought we had hidden them well.
If they can find their presents, they can find a gun.
911, what is your emergency?
Every day, 8 kids and teens are unintentionally killed or injured by loaded and unlocked guns. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and End Family Fire.
Hi, I'm Ruth Quick from Town of Ulster. I support Kingston Community Radio, and you should too.
You're listening to KCR, Kingston Community Radio, AM 920 and 92.5 FM. Most schools are on a 2-hour delay today. Rhinebeck, New Paltz, Saugerties, Red Hook, Rondout, Onteora, and Kingston are all on a 2-hour delay today, and just to give it a little bit of time to clear up and get the buses going out and stuff like that. So everybody's on a 2-hour delay. 36 degrees here is the high today, and peaks of sunshine expected, and clear skies with a low of 9. Tuesday night tonight. And Wednesday we just get up to about 23 degrees with mostly sunny skies. And Wednesday night, almost 0 degrees. 1 degree for our low on Wednesday night. And then Thursday, partly cloudy with a high of 27. And Thursday night, partly cloudy again during the evening with a low of 17. And this is a terrific Tuesday with Nina Postupak and Cameron Rylance, and let's get to the on-air studio ASAP.
Thank you, Dan.
And we are here.
Yes, we are on this
Tuesday morning.
Terrific snowy Tuesday, right, Cameron?
It's not bad. It's not too cold. The snow is. Ooh, I thought I muted that. The snow was fluffy, just swept it off the sidewalk and my front steps in the car. It wasn't too bad.
Yeah, and the roads aren't too bad. A little slippery, like my mate is trying to come down into the studio here. But other than that, yes, it is.
You can see the clouds are thinning and lights shining through. So
just be a little careful if you're going out there. Like Dan says, a 2-hour delay for the schools. But take your time when you're driving. Be careful when you're walking, because even though that snow is a little fluffy and easy
There's a lot of ice under it.
That's right. Right. So please be careful if you're out there. But I think we're going to have some sun and clouds today.
Yeah, 35, I believe,
out.
which I would like to think will get a little warmer than 35. So
yes, and I have to say, when you've hit single digits, 35 doesn't sound so bad, does it?
No.
Yeah.
You know what? Over the week, I went skiing on Friday.
How was that?
Fantastic. Went to Bel Air. The mountain itself, I mean, Bel Air's Bel Air, good little mountain, but the snow quality and conditions were stellar, inch to inch, from one edge of the mountain to the other.
Really?
Impressed, had a fantastic day. Went out with my son and another buddy, another guy, Tom.
Okay.
You probably know Tom, the banker Tom.
I do.
And had a great day. Bluebird day. Not a cloud in the sky. Knock on wood.
Yes,
there
it was
no
beautiful
wind.
Friday. Cold.
When it's dry like that and you're dressed, you can handle it. You know.
Well, the wind.
Tolerable.
Yes, right. It's the wind that really makes it cold and
So,
uncomfortable.
But while I bring this aside to fill a half hour of airspace,
Yes.
Tom, he and his boys have season passes up there.
Oh.
And, they're apparently the snowmaking guru that had been at Hunter for many years left and is now working at Bel Air.
Oh, really?
And he oversaw the installation of a bunch of new snowmaking equipment and probably some techniques and whatever. And they spent probably $1 million or more building a new compressor house.
Oh, interesting.
Making snow, compressed air is like the most important and expensive part. The electricity to run those air compressors is huge. It's their operating budget. That's why places like stop making snow in the spring because the cost of electricity, not the water, not the temperature, not the amount of skiers, whatever. But anyhow, I digress.
Yeah,
so
but that's interesting though, because I know my son went skiing up at Bel Air at the beginning of the season, and he had a wonderful time also.
With the snow conditions?
Yeah, it was great. Yeah,
and we've had rain, we've had warm, we've had cold, we've had crappy snow conditions, crappy weather up and down. That's what kills the snow. It makes ice. Like look at your front yard; it's icy. It's whatever.
And then he went to Wyndham, and it was just what you said, icy conditions. It wasn't the greatest conditions.
So I don't know.
Yep.
Whatever the combination is, kudos to...
Bel Air is right on the verge. I think that's why it got established in the first place. It's right on the verge of a different weather pattern.
Yeah, and it's so close. It's...
Oh, it's so convenient, easy.
Too, you sort of having to hit the throughway to get Hunter, just sort of, even though it's probably the same exact
and
time.
And that little, going up to Hunter is a little more difficult.
It seems so easy and fast,
Absolutely. So that was great. So you had a good Friday skiing. Yeah, that's
and
good.
And saw some fantastic football games this weekend, huh?
Oh, my God.
I'm very happy about the outcome of a couple of them. Sad about the outcome of one of them. But.
I am telling you, I have to say this. We're not going to talk about sports a long time, but I have to say 13 seconds left in that game against Buffalo and the Chiefs. Yeah. And I said, I'm so happy. And New York team, this is going to be great. 13 seconds to bring that ball down the field. But Mahomes is good at that. And plus, just a little sports critiquing, why they allow them to kick it into the end zone instead of catch it, because the time would have went off the clock, right?
Yeah.
And they may not have made it to the 25-yard line, right?
Yeah, there's been
a lot of controversy about that, right?
Squib kicked it,
Right, so many things. But I feel bad for Josh Allen and for the Buffalo because that was really disappointing. But a great game. A great game.
I saw a quote just this morning, something to the effect of, from Josh Allen, quotation, says, if she was on the other foot, we'd be celebrating.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It's a good guy, great guy.
That's the attitude.
Yeah. And then, of course, being a New York Giants fan, I wasn't... Tom Brady's wonderful, great, everything, but I'm obviously being with the Patriots so many years.
Enough.
Yeah, and
Jets fans and Bills fans, they're like Brady.
So that was some game though. He brought him all the way back though, Cameron.
Yeah. It's Matt Stafford. Known the name for a long time. He's been languishing in Detroit Lions. I never realized how good he was.
Yeah,
and people have been saying that, he had Barry Sanders. He only had one good player, not Barry. Whoever, he only had one good player in Detroit. Had he been on any other team, the whole world would know how good he was. So I was like, man, he's got his break now.
Yeah, he does. He does. Yeah, great games. And Saturday's cool. Games were good too. Walk-off field goals.
Big games coming up. Super Bowl. Are we allowed to say that? I think so. I don't know.
Well, I'm sure they're not going to come after us.
Yeah,
Dan's saying we're fine. Don't worry about it.
S-O-U-P-E-R, Super Bowl.
There you go.
We planned. We're having a potluck thing at the Elks Lodge. Potluck,
fun. Super Bowl
party,
Sunday?
and with a meatball brawl, little meatball contest for bragging right. There's lavish prizes involved, not really, but we're doing it. It seems kind of backwards, but people who are making balls to enter the battle, paying $10, and all that entry money is going to go to like something youth oriented.
Sure.
Won't be a lot, but it's a token, so
Sure.
we'll see.
Yeah, great, absolutely. And
It's the
are you all
13th.
doing this all on Super Bowl Sunday?
All Super Bowl Sunday, yep.
Okay.
Which is the 13th, right?
Yeah.
February 13th, Sunday the 13th. Coming up, round the corner.
Yeah, one more week of football,
I
right?
know,
And then
I
there's
know.
the break, and then
Yep.
Super Bowl. So, yeah. And I have to say, truthfully, I don't even know where the Super Bowl is being played. Silence.
Dead airspace.
Yeah,
Silence.
it's brutal. I don't
Okay,
know.
we'll have
I
to-
forget, but I know. I remember
Listeners,
reading
please call
because of
in.
COVID, the league was like looking for other venues in an emergency, in case of emergency. And I think Dallas Stadium was one of the considerations.
Well, please call in,
Yeah.
callers, if somebody knows where the Super Bowl is being
I'm
played.
sure we
this
could
year.
Google it, but
319-255. Yeah, but it's
put stuff
nicer
on
to
my
listen
yeah,
to
I'll call
one
it.
of our
I
listeners.
just put stuff on my hands. It'll get my phone all smeary.
Yeah, well, don't do that.
Don't do
Don't
that.
Don't do
Working
that at
hands.
all.
Speak of working hands. You ever see this stuff? This green. This is an unauthorized commercial plug right here. This stuff.
Oh, working.
Yeah, it's
working
moisturizing.
hands,
Really
yes.
good. It's a little greasy, but
Yeah.
it helps. I've been remembering to use it regularly. Look, it's almost empty too. It is.
Yeah, it is empty. Yes.
And my fingers are thanking me. But I saw this thing on the internet. Carhartt, I'm wearing a hat because I went out at 5:30 this morning to shovel and street, so I had a hat on.
So it's Los Angeles.
Is it L.A.? Okay.
Yeah. SoFi Stadium.
SoFi Stadium. Oh, that's
Yeah,
cool.
in Los
Yeah.
Angeles.
No, that's the newest stadium, so yeah, I guess
Yeah.
it would be there.
Beautiful weather.
Yeah.
February 13th.
Be nice for if San Francisco gets in it.
Yeah, right.
Right there on their
Practically a
coast.
home game.
Yeah.
So I had a hat on. So once you wear a hat outside and you take it off, you feel naked. So I have to wear a hat. But it's a Carhartt hat. My
Yes.
son got this for me. I have a Carhartt vest, I have jeans and stuff. It's not inexpensive. It's working
yeah,
clothes.
but the
it's
quality
become
is very good.
very fashionable. Like it's everywhere.
Yes.
Supermodels are wearing it. Carhartt had to have made this ad, but their name wasn't on it. It's on Facebook. Something to the effect of show this little montage of people, beautiful couples and kids playing with the dog in the snow. Everyone wants to wear Carhartt stuff, but they didn't use the word stuff. Everyone wants to wear Carhartt stuff until it's time to do Carhartt stuff, but they didn't say stuff. And that montage on the other side of like a guy standing in a ditch.
Yeah, right, working.
A power cable guy working in a blizzard with some construction workers. It was pretty funny.
Yeah,
It was
yeah, that's the truth, right?
And if it was, I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, it's
personally.
pretty sporty.
Catchy.
Pretty
It
sporty clothing,
Yeah,
Very
it's
sporty.
very good stuff. It's
yeah.
pretty catchy, but
Yeah. No, it's, I have to say, very good quality.
vibrating.
Yeah. And it's things like that just catch on. It's amazing
Yeah.
how fast they just
Yep.
catch on. So what else, Cameron, is going on here in our great
our fair
community? I have to
burg?
say, we have a
don't even know
array
who-
of hosts today, of guests,
sure.
rather.
I'm not sure
So-
who our guest
This
was.
is
Yeah,
we're,
Dr. Roberts
This is our
from
day of
Community
Dr.
College.
Roberts, and then the
Kingston
library,
Library.
and
Okay,
then
so
Paul
Paul.
Hakeem.
Yeah, and then Paul.
Yeah. So I don't know if Paul's in the area, but hopefully.
I believe he is. I bumped into him briefly Friday,
Okay, good. That's
and he
great.
confirmed. He said, "It's Radio Tuesday." I was like, "Yes, sure is." So he should be in.
Okay. And we have a new exhibit. We would like to, the county office building is open to the public just as long as you put your mask on. So we'd like you to come and visit our new exhibit in regard to the city of Kingston and their celebration this year.
Oh,
Yes, so it's a great exhibit. It really depicts the growth of the city of Kingston from its inception to now. So I won't give away too much of the details. Hopefully, we'll have a press release going out shortly. It just went up this week. So I encourage everybody, if they're in the building, to come on up to the second floor and see our new exhibit. It really, really kicks off the whole celebration.
That's
of the
great.
year.
And it's open
So-
business hours, essentially.
Yeah,
Essentially business
yeah.
hours. So if you have something to do at the DMV and stuff like that, you can just pop up later on the second floor and see the exhibit.
Yes, absolutely.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
So it's open It's,
What,
it's open.
What
open
happens
weekdays
to the old exhibits? The artifacts
Well-
get returned to the archive and.
Well, so what we try to do with our old exhibits is we try to repurpose them. So we've reached out, we have a library program, so we've reached out to all the libraries in the area, and we could take any one of our exhibits, and I tell everyone that we meet that we can make them as large or as small as the space that people give us to show the exhibits. So, we use libraries, we've done shows, we try
cool,
to
yeah.
put them in different areas because
Let them continue to be seen by people,
Yes.
Just because you need to, in the courthouse or obviously you need to change them periodically. You can't keep the same one up forever.
Right.
But it doesn't mean that whole exhibit can't be enjoyed in a museum or a library.
So the
somewhere.
inventory just circulates.
Yes.
The
Yeah,
inventory
that's good.
circulates,
Yep.
and it's always loaned by the Ulster County Clerk's office. Is that how
Yeah.
how you do it?
That's neat.
Yeah, and then also the Person House, we repurpose a lot
Right.
of
Oh,
yeah.
of
components
course.
of our different exhibits over the
Yeah.
Person House for our summer exhibits. So since we get such a variety of people at the house, which works very well also. So, and we do have our permanent exhibit there that we received the grant for, which we encourage everybody to come up and see also, which is it really depicts all the our collections that we feel are probably our most historical collections, such as our naturalization records, the old Dutch records, the wampum bow, the treaty. All of that is part of the permanent exhibit, and it's a 3D exhibit. It's really impressive, and we had a fabricator and so forth, and we did that through a great grant through the New York State Education Department. So if people have the opportunity, please come and see our exhibits. So we were talking about the schools being closed, not closed, but 2-hour delay.
delay, yeah.
Please,
Don't
2-hour
talk-
delay,
don't
2-hour
start that,
delay.
yeah.
2-hour
I
delay.
wanna start a rumor there.
Yeah, just,
exactly.
just about
So
everybody
our-
in the entire Ulster County area and Dutchess, Rhinebeck and Red Hook are too.
Oh, 2-hour delays.
2-hour delays.
Yep.
So our motor vehicle bus does go out on 2-hour delays, just so we try to follow the school schedule for the town that the bus is
Okay.
going to. So today we're up in Saugerties. So really 2-hour delay
Where in
for us.
Saugerties?
Town hall.
In front of okay.
Right in the town hall. So 2-hour delay for us is really when we go out 9 o'clock, right? Because most schools start picking up at 7 in the morning, 7:30 in the morning. Today we're in Saugerties. Tomorrow we're down in Ellenville. Thursday, New Paltz, and then Friday down in Walk Hill. So it's a little problematic when the weather starts to change this time of year and when the bus is going to go out. And when,
Get backed up.
yeah,
And,
it makes it a little more difficult.
Now, is that by appointment or is it walk-in?
Walk in.
Okay, good. So say if you had 2 scheduled appointments
Right, and you're
prior
right
to
there.
knowing there's a 2-hour delay, and
Yeah.
you'd be like, oh man, they
Yeah.
get bumped.
But
or whatever.
we're there at normal time because we still go out at 9, right? Because
Oh,
2-hour
another
delay,
comment.
right?
Okay, yeah. All right.
So we still go out at 9.
Yep.
Normally under normal conditions. So and we're still appointment only in the county office building also. Which has worked out fantastic and which is great. So something that people who are listening, and please spread this news. If you receive your renewal in the mail right now, the state has given the mail back to the counties because they're not able to keep up with it at this point. So if you mail in, you put it in that pink envelope, if you notice, the return address is to the Ulster County Office Building,
That's cool.
244 Fair Street. So all these years of saying, don't mail in your renewal, come in person, now you can mail it in.
You can.
So please, anybody who's listening, if you could pass that word around. The renewals are coming to our office now. Check your renewal invitation, but it should have the office building address on it.
Cool. That's great to know because does Ulster County still get to keep that little?
When you mail it in, then we
portion of
keep
it?
our
Yeah.
revenue. Yes, we
okay.
keep our.
The state's
yes.
not going to say you guys got to kick it back.
No.
Oh, that's cool.
We get to keep that revenue.
Which
So-
is rather significant normally.
Oh yes, if everybody
in this-
renewed locally, yeah, it would $300,000. We would.
Without it, with going, yeah. So now that
state.
everything's coming here, boy, cha-ching,
Yes.
hopefully.
Yeah, so please,
Put it in
Is that the renewal for your license or for your registration?
both.
Both.
Yep.
Oh,
cool.
good.
Yep.
Yes. Good.
Both.
Yeah, so they should put it in the
So-
pothole repair fund.
Yeah, right.
They are, in the last week, since we got that cold snap last week, boy, them potholes are popping up all over town.
Well, that's funny that you say that because a lot of people probably don't realize this, but on your registration, there is a motor vehicle use tax based on the weight, 5 years, $5 per year or $10 per year based on the weight of the vehicle. And that money, we make over $1.1 million
Really?
a year, and that goes
That's incredible.
right to the county, to the highway fund.
Really?
Yes.
That's incredible. That's
Yes.
incredible.
And
That
most
is
people
a
don't even
really,
realize that that's
really
on their
good synergy.
registration.
That's very,
What's that?
synergistic.
Yeah.
It's very.
That's cool.
very-
And that
So-
doesn't matter
very-
where you renew
very-
it. You could go down to Dutchess County, but
intelligent,
if you're an Ulster
yeah.
County resident, that motor vehicle use tax is on your registration, or you can send it into Walney, and you still pay the
Still
use
pay
tax.
it? Wow.
And it still comes back to us.
That's cool. I did not really know that.
No, most people don't realize it because
So
it's
if you
been
buy
there
a little,
so long.
if you buy a light car, you're going to pay less tax on it.
That's right. So instead
Less
of paying
wear and tear on the road.
Yeah, you'll pay $10 instead of $20 for a 2-year registration. Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that you reminded me of that with the potholes.
Yeah. Huh.
That all goes to the
Those
highway
tricky
fund.
legislators of ours crafting,
Yes, way back when.
crafting the legislation.
Yes.
Now we want to know how different an electric car is in weight than a gasoline-powered
yeah.
car. What do you think of that?
I would think the electric car is lighter, right?
I don't know. His batteries are pretty heavy.
Yeah, right. But the
don't
the
know.
motors are much smaller.
Interesting.
So, yeah, it's an
Well,
interesting
I'm
concept.
asked to Google. The Google will tell us.
Well, it's funny because originally when the motor vehicle use tax went into effect, most cars were under the weight limit. I'm really just but not remembering what the weight limit was. But most cars were under the weight limit. But then when the SUVs and all of those vehicles started to become popular and so forth, now most vehicles are $10 as opposed to $5.
Yeah, it's ginormous pickup truck.
Yeah.
Speaking of pickup trucks, I don't know. In August, my job, buying a pickup truck, a base model Ford Ranger, Rugies Ford in Rhinebeck.
Yep.
Paid, put a deposit on it because we're trying to get it ordered and done before the end of our fiscal year, September 30th. Delay.
For your camp.
Yeah, my camp. Basic Ford, it's $31,000 vehicle. It's not cheap. After like 3 months in like November, we got a maybe early December. We got a Ford Motor Company, Louis August Jones Foundation. Sorry for the inconvenience and the long wait for your new, fill in the blank Ford Ranger XL Super Cab, whatever. We sincerely apologize. We acknowledge that the delays are in our manufacturing and supply chain. Due to your cooperation, we are going to give you a 2022 instead of a 2021 for the same price. Oh, cool. It's worth waiting. Should be here sometime after the beginning of the year.
Right.
Last week, like Wednesday or Thursday, got another email. Congratulations. The manufacturing date for your truck has been set for the first week in March. And they finally, its vehicle number is blah, 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 blah. Expect delivery soon after that. Click here to track your vehicle, so it's whatever. So August, September, November, December, January, February, March. 6 months.
They say to get a new car.
Yeah,
That's why the prices
crazy.
of used cars, like dealers are looking for trade-ins on used cars and leased vehicles where you did the buyouts, and they're paying top dollar for it because
Yeah,
they
it's-
cannot get new cars.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
crazy.
It is.
6 months. And it's
Yeah.
just a base model. But I guess that's the problem, interestingly enough. No one wants the base models unless it's for like a fleet, like a huge construction company buys 6 new trucks for the crews or whatever. They don't need the navigation and the leather seats and the trim package and the running boards. Ford doesn't want to build them. So they're building the nice upper model ones. Apparently they wait till they get like a batch of like around the country, like 20,000 people want to order this
Base.
truck, whatever. So they wait, and when they get enough to make it worth their while, they'll stop redo the production line to pump out a bunch of base ones for a week, and then they'll go back to building the fancy ones,
Right,
which I
right.
found pretty interesting. But guy Chuck at Rugies said that's how the automobile industry works. So
Yeah.
I found that very interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. But it makes sense, right? Because
Yeah.
it has to
You
be
know,
cost
all the-
effective for them to
Yeah.
manufacture
It's,
those.
it's considered like a fleet vehicle, and they don't really like making them because they're low margin. It's like the base model. When you see the commercial starting at 31,000 to 48, well, that's the 31. They don't want to sell the base models.
Right. Yeah. I've always been a big base model person myself.
But you see, Central Hudson, there's utilities, big, construction, city, those plain white pickup trucks, they're like fleet vehicles. They're basic, So, I guess they make their year's run of them.
It's like our van for the county.
Yeah.
The van we have is very basic. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
But it works and it does the trick, and it's what you need.
Yeah. Finally.
So you're finally getting it in March.
Well, in March, hopefully. In March, they're going to say, backlog, it'll be May. Who knows? But we need it by the camp season because it's standard. No one can drive standard anymore. And because of the configuration of staff and vehicles and, not using private vehicles can be for camp business. And if the van is out, if they're doing a grocery run or bringing kids somewhere and there's an emergency and they need to get something, a vehicle always has to be at camp, and camp truck's always there unless I'm at the hardware store. But because so few people could drive standards, that they're like, no, this, you got to get a vehicle that anybody can drive. So.
Right, makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah, I learned on standards. Standards like driving in standards like riding a bicycle. And once you learn on it, you never forget.
Pretty much, yeah. It may take a couple minutes to get the hang of the clutch. If you switch a vehicle or whatever, it's a high, low.
Yeah, right.
How stiff is the gear shift?
Yeah.
But after that, it's like you said.
Yeah, just like riding
a bike.
Talking about cars and DMV, we put up on our Facebook page and on our website. So there's another scam going around, and just for everybody who's listening, do not, if you get a text message that says it's from the DMV and they want to verify information, or you're due a refund, or we thought you had a change of address, please verify your address. Whatever the case may be, DMV does not send those type of text messages. And there's a new one going around right now saying that you're due a refund, and please click on this to give us the information where to mail the refund. And so please, if you get any text messages, New York State DMV does not do that.
Yeah.
So do not respond, delete it. And it's there's samples of what is said on the text messages on our Facebook page and on our website. So if you go to either one of those, you can see the texts that are being sent. So please, it's crazy, right? The scams.
Yeah, people sitting around, nothing better to do than to try to figure out how to rip people off on the computer.
Now, so I was watching ABC Nightly News last night, right? And this grandmother, 74 years old, the scam where they call and say, your grandson, this is your grandson, I'm in jail, I need
Jimmy,
you.
Yeah,
right? So she plays along with it. She says, stop by my house. I have cash. I'll put $10,000 in an envelope. Come by my house. When he comes and rings the doorbell, she's called 911. She stuffed the envelope with all shredded paper. She hands it to him, and the cops were there and arrested them.
That's awesome.
So how about
Brilliant.
that? They caught the scammer,
Brilliant
and
work.
God bless her.
Brilliant
Yeah,
work.
that's cool.
That was pretty amazing. So I saw that on the nightly news last night. Good for her, because so many of these scammers. I'm surprised though with someone local, because a lot of time these scammers say mail it. They're offshore.
Yeah, Russian or North Korean or whatever.
So
that's good for her. That's cool.
Yeah. So please beware. There's so many scams out there, so many ways. And anymore, there's no way to protect your identity, your personal information, because the minute you order something, you go on Amazon, you buy something.
That's like what makes one of the things that, cryptocurrency,
Yes.
That's one of the things that makes me so skeptical of that. It's like, you've heard of Bitcoin, and there's 3 or 4 of them out there, but, is this just a big, how realistic, legit, permanent? It's weird. It's scary. I don't know anything about it,
Cameron.
and I
don't
didn't
know
want,
much about it either,
But Eric Adams, the controversial new mayor, he wants to get paid in it.
Yeah, and he wants to make New York City like the center of Bitcoin.
Yeah, but I tell you what, he's speaking more and more like a Republican.
He is, isn't he?
But he's an ex-cop. He knows what the deal is. He knows that he's touchy-feely.
Yes.
Does not keep hardened criminals from breaking the law.
Well, and right now the situation in New York City is not a good situation.
All over the state, and people are saying. I was watching the 5:30 news last night. Whatever. He's like, we got to go to Albany. We got to change the bail reform. We got to give judges back the power of discretionary powers to hold people. And he's like, we got to change some laws. So, amen. Kudos.
Yeah, good for him. I know we were going to the bottom of the half hour, but condolences to Freddie Costello and to his family. His dad passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry.
This past weekend. A great man, Sue's Restaurant. You'd always see him there. And, so condolences to the whole Costello family. We're thinking of you. All right, Dan, it's time to take it away.
There you go.
Thank you, and absolutely, and I will reverberate that thought. Condolences to Freddie Costello and the Costello family for loss of their father. Tuesday, January 25th today. It's 25 degrees also here in Uptown Kingston. You're listening to Kingston Community Radio, AM 920 and 92.5 FM. And again, there's a 2-hour delay for almost all the Ulster County and Dutchess County schools, Rhinebeck School, Rhinebeck School System, and New Paltz, Saugerties, Red Hook, Rondout, Onteora, and Kingston City School District is all on a 2-hour delay today. We'll be right back after these messages.
When is the best time to talk to your family about staying in touch during a disaster? Amid the chaos? Or is the best time perhaps today? Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Families affected by disasters urgently need support. Help the American Red Cross provide meals and shelter to those affected by disasters, big and small. Donate to Red Cross Disaster Relief. Go to redcross.org or call 1-800-RED-CROSS.
180 over 111, and I had a stroke.
145 over 92, and then I had a heart attack. 150 over 90, and I had a stroke.
This is what high blood pressure sounds like. You might not feel its symptoms, but the results from a heart attack or stroke are far from silent. Get back on your treatment plan or talk with your doctor to create a plan that works for you. Go to loweryourhbp.org.
Everything's changed.
Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Medical Association, and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Diane Eastwick from Athens, New York, and I support Kingston Community Radio, and so should you.
And you're with us here at KCR, Kingston Community Radio, AM 920 and 92.5 FM, Tuesday, January 25th, and it's 25 degrees here in Uptown Kingston. A little bit about the weather that we're going to see in the next 3 days. Tuesday today, it's cloudy early with peaks of sunshine later on the day with a high of 36, and clear skies tonight with a low of 9. And Wednesday, mostly sunny skies with a high of 23 degrees. And Wednesday night, bitterly cold. It's going to be about 1 degree. Mostly clear sky on Wednesday night, tomorrow night. And Thursday during the day, it's going to be partly cloudy with a high of 27. And Thursday night with a low of 17. We're going to be partly cloudy in the evening, followed by cloudy skies overnight. And this upcoming portion of Kingston Community Radio is brought to you by the Mid-Hudson Valley Federal Credit Union. 1099 Morton Boulevard in Kingston is their main office. Let's get back to the on-air studio with Nina Poshpak and Cameron Rylance.
And we're back.
We're back on the air.
We are back on the air. Oh, looks like Dr. Roberts is calling in.
Yeah, we have.
But I was going to say, we were just talking off the air about Jeopardy, the recent run of the success of this woman who's on this hot streak there.
Yes.
And you said, how does someone get so much knowledge? And I know why.
Why?
Because every museum and cultural institution she went to, she read the plaques.
See, there you go.
That's where you get that arcane knowledge about, the D&H Canal Museum. You read every plaque. You go to Metropolitan Museum of Natural History, you read all the plaques. To me, I'm a plaque reader when you go to museums.
That's a great point,
and that is how you get all that minutia stored away, I believe.
Great point.
So we're on the phone with Dr. Roberts?
Good morning. This is not Dr. Roberts. This is Meg Shealy, Dean of Enrollment Management and Student Affairs. How are you?
Great, Meg. Thank you for calling in and joining us today.
How are
Happy
you,
to
Meg?
do so. My colleague Mike Pulcari is going to be joining me in a moment as well. He's one of our dynamic enrollment and success counselors at the college.
Dynamic enrollment and success counselors. That's interesting. Could you please repeat your title?
Sure. It's a mouthful.
Yes.
Dean of Enrollment Management and Student Affairs.
All right.
Enrollment Management and Student Affairs.
Well,
That's
describe
right.
what.
I help students on the way in and throughout their entire time.
Yeah.
The enrollment management part is the admissions and choosing of their coursework and getting them connected with resources. And then the student affairs part is supporting them as a student outside of their coursework. So I oversee our food pantry, our Start Here, Go Far boutique, our mental health resources, our disability services, and our clubs and student life organizations, all of the things that students can do when they're not sitting in their classes and learning.
Wow, that's a lot.
That is.
I got a couple of questions for you about that, but Dan indicates that your colleague is on the line with us. Can you introduce him?
Yeah,
Sure.
hi everybody.
Is Mike there?
Mike, go ahead. Start over, please.
Yeah, Mike Pulcari. I work with Meg. I'm an enrollment success counselor, and I've been working at Ulster for a few years in that capacity over on the admission side.
You're out in Stone Ridge or in Kingston here, in the St. Mary's Avenue?
Excuse me?
You're out in Stone Ridge campus, or your offices in Mary's Avenue?
Yes, I work over in the Stone Ridge campus. On occasion, I'll be up in the Kingston campus if we have events up there or if we need extra coverage. But I work mainly on the main campus in Stone Ridge.
I like that title, Success Counselor. What does a success counselor do?
Sure. A couple of different things. My main role, I have two different main roles in this capacity. One is helping students get into college. So going to the different high schools throughout the county, going to a variety of different college fairs, other events, adult events, community events. So helping students navigate the admissions process, that's one of the things. The other thing is the actual picking of classes. So I'm an academic advisor. So we have some distinct different seasons with that where you're really rolling from one of those roles to the other. So right now we are heavy into our academic advising piece of the job with students registering for classes and helping them figure that piece out.
How has, Mike, I guess I'll ask this for you and then follow up with Meg. The last 2 years have been certainly different than most college experiences. What is the biggest thing, you're a success counselor, what is the biggest stumbling block, or what do you think is the biggest problem for the students the last couple of years?
Oh, I think there's it's hard to point it to just one problem because there have been so many. I think there's so much uncertainty with how students want to learn and what they feel comfortable with, and it's been difficult for colleges to meet that. So, we're doing in-person, we do what we call remote, which is through Google Meet or Zoom, we do asynchronous, which is online, so I think we've all heard these terms. But it's difficult to figure out what students exactly want, and a lot of it's based on where this pandemic is. And what we've seen is, a cry last semester for a lot more in-person, and we're offering a lot more in-person. And now with the Omicron coming in, a lot of students have called and said, hey, you know what, I don't know if I want to do in-person. I want to do more remote and online. And it's hard for us to pivot to create those things once they're already in place. So I think it's been a real challenge for students, and then for us to be able to meet those needs. And we try. We offer it in classes in a variety of different ways, but that's been a hard thing to predict.
I know in speaking with Dr. Roberts, previously enrollment's down a little bit, but it's starting to creep back up. Do you think people are just, people when enrollment was down, people were like, this is too complicated. I'm not even going to bother with school right now. Do you think like this what they're calling, the fatigue of, COVID fatigue? Do you think that's going to make people, say, what, the heck with it, I'm just going back? Do you think that's going to affect anything with your enrollment numbers?
Boy, you know, this has been so different than anything else. Normally, for example, when the economy goes down, so when COVID initially struck back in 2020, and the economy really went downhill and unemployment skyrocketed, that is normally when community colleges do really well. People go back to school. And instead, we had the exact reverse happen. And then when the economy got better, that's, we didn't know what was going to happen, but we didn't get as many students coming back. I think what we're seeing is a kind of a resetting of what people are looking for in a college and looking for in a career, more importantly. And they're trying to figure out if higher education will meet their needs, if they need it, if they're going to be someone who participates in the gig economy. And I think we're seeing more of that now. And so my hope is that once we do get back to more, I hate to say normal times, but what we'll call our normalcy, that we will see people realize that, getting an education, getting a higher education can only help them. And that it
and
does
Cameron,
lead to other things.
right now, it's not unique. The national trend right now is college has been on an enrollment decline. So we are uniquely positioned as a community college to be able to be responsive to our local need. We want to be responsive to what Ulster County is looking for. We have the position to be able to offer continuing education courses, micro-credentialing, which is basically like smaller, stackable size coursework. We have a lot of opportunities for our high school students, which I definitely want to let Mike talk a little bit about our collegiate program. So we have those kind of opportunities when students are still in high school, because I think what we'll see is with this enrollment softening, more students who are college-bound will see greater opportunities because everybody is trying to reach for the same number of students right now.
Yeah.
So what we want to make sure we say is, being your local community college, we are the best value. We have the best education tracks. Our faculty instructors are so qualified. They're in the field. They are really focused on career outcomes for our students. So Mike and the enrollment success team do such a good job with talking about career goals, because right now it's very easy to find a job, right? Like that's what's happening. So, but what's a job? Is a job a career? Is it going to be the fulfilling long-term goal that you're trying to find? It's that kind of internal look that we're all doing during COVID. I'll even say, hey, this was a career change for me, and in this time, I have gotten so much more fired up about wanting to help students and wanting to really do this. And as Mike said, it's been a challenge through the pandemic, but SUNY Ulster's done a really wonderful job at being responsive. As he mentioned, we have our virtual one-on-one visits. Students really appreciate individualized attention, and that's what we're very well positioned to give them. So you can see on our website, we have virtual appointments that can be made with one of our admissions and representatives in the Enrollment and Success Center. All of the courses have been, we listened. The great part is our institutional research office did surveys of our students, gathered feedback throughout the last 2 years, and we have been very responsive to student need. So we feel like our students feel comfort in the knowledge that SUNY Ulster is providing them what they are looking for. We don't want buyer's remorse. We want to make sure students feel like whatever their goal entry is what they achieve when they're finished. We are doing that, and that's what an enrollment and success really talks a lot about.
You just mentioned the gig economy and certifications and stackable things. I think of the manufacturing, technology type things. Do you see a trend of that type of thing growing? Supporting trades, the gig economy, as opposed to kids going on the traditional 4-year undergrad path. Because of the cost, the uncertainty.
It's kind of an ebb and flow with those types. But what we do know is that we need to have local jobs. So it's really like if there's not the mindset of what is it within our career and with our partnerships, community partnerships is the most crucial thing. So be that a community partnership with one of our industry partners, and our Associate Vice President Chris Marks does a wonderful job with connecting with areas, being on the job growth track within Ulster County. But then as you said, the kind of more traditional tracks, our business administration has a partnership with New Paltz where we get an AS to BS, and we're calling it the 2+2, and it's fully online. So SUNY Ulster can make it really easy to go from SUNY Ulster to New Paltz to secure your 4-year degree. It's an AS to BS partnership. So it's really like whether it's industry partners where it's connecting students directly to jobs, or it's partnerships with the surrounding universities where whatever the student's goal is, we can help them achieve it, and the value is the first 2 years of SUNY Ulster.
It's for our listeners, it's very difficult to apply and get accepted at SUNY New Paltz. It's extremely competitive.
Yeah.
Your pathway is brilliant.
It is.
Holy cow,
Exactly.
that's awesome.
Exactly. So that's the thing with this enrollment softening nationwide, statewide. It's going to become more competitive. Four-year institutions are doing strategies like getting rid of standardized testing, ACT, SAT scores, in order to try and attract more students. But SUNY Ulster is already open enrollment. We accept you. Mike and the team take a look at whatever college credits you may have, your high school credits. We do the transcript evaluations. We get you in the right courses in order to prepare you for four-year acceptance if that's your goal. So it really helps a student to focus on what they need to save the money and then to make their way into that four-year institution if that's their goal. It's just a path of least resistance, but it's also the best path because it's preparing them to be college ready at the four-year level. So I just can't say that enough about it's the value of the first 2 years at SUNY Ulster gets you in a good foothold for a lot of reasons.
Yeah. Now, do either of you guys work with the President's Cup students? The President's Challenge?
I'll let Mike jump in on that one.
Yeah, we've been working with the PCS students since the inception of it, and we developed the mentee program. I believe it was a year or 2 years after the first PCS students were named. So we do break up the high schools amongst Meg and the other ESC counselors. We go into the high schools, meet with our students on a monthly basis. We also meet with them on campus. They come to campus 2 times a year. A variety of different activities. Some of them are just fun, like I was just at Saugerties a few weeks ago and took my team ice skating. So just
That's
something
cool.
that was kind of fun to do.
Yeah.
None of them had ever done it before, and it's not a surprise. It's not a surprise that these students had never gotten on skates before. So it's something that
I didn't realize that this program was outside of I thought it was simply school-based, The outside activity almost provides a mentoring type atmosphere. You're certainly introducing these young people to experiences they hadn't yet, had the fortunate ability to do. That's refreshing. I did not realize that so wraparound, if you will.
Yeah, we're trying
that's
to do more of that. And what we want to do is prepare these students to get for the college experience. So it's not just giving them a scholarship. What we're looking at trying to do is make sure these students are able to bridge any gaps, any fears, get rid of any barriers that they may have, any fears that they have prior to coming to school, and be prepared so when they do come to school, they really can just concentrate on the academics. So they know how to go through the entire financial aid process. Because you still have to do that even as a PCS scholar. That piece is still in place.
Yeah.
We want to make sure that students also have opportunities in high school to take college courses. They can do that. It's paid for with the scholarship, and that can help them get through the program faster. And then they can get on to a four-year program more quickly and transfer and get on with their career. In the end, that helps them with their career earnings. Anytime you graduate earlier, you move along, you start your career earlier, your career earnings do go up by a great amount, and that's something that's been proven by research.
Yeah.
And Cameron, you had said the word mentor. That's what we call ourselves. The college partners the team of us who go into each of the districts, we're called their President's Challenge Mentor.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's really what we view the relationship as. We work very closely with the districts. There's identified point people within each of the high schools who serve as kind of an advisor on the high school side. Some of them are guidance counselors within the staff members, but then we, from SUNY Ulster, we mentor the students in the way of we do our best to meet them individually. We have group meetings, and a lot of it's not just college preparedness as far as academics, as Mike said. It's social emotional preparedness. It's learning skills, time management, conflict resolution, things like that. But as Mike was alluding to, really preparing them to understand what college level learning is. And right now, what we're doing is making sure that we get the word out about the Collegian program, which is the qualified and motivated students who are in high school to earn college credits towards their associate and bachelor's. The Collegian classes are taught in the high schools, and it's reduced tuition. College students pay $68 credit, and it's a great way of savings off of the regular tuition, which is $200.
So they get high school and college credit?
I'm sorry?
They get high school and college credit for that?
Correct.
Huh.
So each fall and spring, there's a registration timetable where the students can elect to pay for the college credit, and then it ends up on an official transcript that we get to see. It's a SUNY Ulster official transcript that takes them into their next institution. And right now, the spring registration deadline for Collegian is March 3rd. So while we started our semester just yesterday for our regular students, our high school Collegian students have until March 3rd to register for their spring Collegian classes.
That's a great opportunity.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And if you do that with a 2 + 2 or 2 and 2,
yeah, right.
You'll be skating with your degree, your bachelor's in business in 3 years.
That's exactly right. We do see that. We have one other pre-college opportunity that's not Collegian. It's called early college, and that's where a student has the immersive SUNY Ulster experience. That's where a student in high school qualifies to take classes on campus with us, with our college instructors. So it's the same price. It's still that valuable $68 reduced tuition, but that's when students come physically to either the Marys Avenue or Stone Ridge campus and take classes with our instructors. So there's kind of that pathway too. A lot of area parents may consider this in the coming months as they talk to their high school student, because as you had said, Cameron, it's going to be challenging to get in places, and Nina, as competition rises at the four-year institutions, to have additional credits under a student's belt. And also the value of getting some of the general education requirements out of the way at a reduced tuition is a very good thing. You know,
absolutely.
If you're thinking about a four-year education, some of your gen ed requirements are going to be regardless of where you are. So if you take them with the value of the reduced tuition, it's a smart thing.
Yeah, no doubt. English 101 is English 101, no matter what.
No matter,
yeah.
Exactly.
But I believe you said you were in charge of student life on campus.
I am. Yes, I am.
To me, that is one of the an important element of higher education, the extracurricular clubs and the camaraderie and the fellowship that is, and it comes with those type of things. Sports. Do you, with closed campuses and all that, do you see kids like yearning to get back to that type, or not kids, students, yearning to get back to that stuff again, or what?
Yeah, Cameron, we do. I think a lot of people are surprised when it comes to activity at a campus like SUNY Ulster. The assumption is it's a commute, and the assumption is it's you go to your class and you go back to your car. But we do have a really robust offering. We provide programming, multicultural series of speakers and guests. We do a lot of experiential learning kind of things where, students get to decide what it is that they want to experience while they're at the campus. with activities. We have more than 25 student interest clubs, everything from our LGBTQIA association to a business club to a veterans club, and all of them kind of speak to a student as a whole person. And I always encourage students to get involved with club life and activities because these are things that are resume builders. You're experiencing, you're connecting with individuals in the community. I oversee our student government organization as well as our Circle K International, which is affiliated with the Kingston Kiwanis. A lot of people know Key Club at the high school level. CKI is the same service leadership organization at the college level. So I tell students a lot that these are connecting you to individuals in the community where there could be a future job opportunity, where there could be the opportunity to connect with somebody who you could go into business with. You just never know how and where. So those outside opportunities are so valuable. And what I've seen a lot, Cameron, is students are craving connection.
Yeah.
Because they haven't had it. So sometimes they want those just social interactions.
I think everyone
they want just the opportunity to have like-mindedness and conversation with others.
Yes, absolutely.
So we let those things happen too. We have an upcoming event early in February that we're just calling Break the Ice, and it's just going to be some games, some bingo, that kind of thing, just to let students loose a little bit. The good thing about our vaccination requirement on campus is that students are feeling safe. And they know we're doing the right things. So when it comes to playing bingo, it's okay.
Yeah.
We can be silly. We can do these things outside of class and let some steam off.
Well, all along, I know the college has had a very rigorous testing protocol and, thorough contact tracing. So, you guys have been on the forefront of
absolutely, protecting
student and staff health. So,
yes.
Certainly listeners, that hasn't changed. So.
So we've got the requirement that was a SUNY-wide, all 64 campuses for the vaccine. So SUNY Ulster is right in line with that, providing proof of vaccination. The latest is that on-campus students who are eligible for a booster must receive a booster by January 30th. So that's coming up.
Ooh, yep.
And all of our students have received information about that already. And we've been really happy to be a community and state partner. Right now, our Senate Gymnasium is acting as one of the state testing sites.
Yeah.
So as you know, it's at the New Paltz campus, and right now it's also in our Stone Ridge campus. And so we're happy to provide that service to the community.
Yeah, that's great.
Continue to help everybody get through this.
Yeah. So, Meg, we got about a minute left. Why don't you and Mike just repeat your names and your contact info for our listeners, and that'll bring us about to the top of the hour. So. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you for having us. My name is Meg Sheely. I'm the Dean of Enrollment Management and Student Affairs at SUNY Ulster. And Mike and I can both be reached at ESC at SUNYUlster.edu. ESC stands for Enrollment and Success Center at SUNYUlster.edu.
And Mike Polcari, correct? Mike was our other guest?
Mike Polcari, yes, and just as Meg said, that is one of the email addresses to get us at. That will go to all of us there. I work, and I also, one of the things we have is we have some extended hours. I work 10 to 6, so that's an advantage.
Yeah.
Our office just doesn't close down at 4:30, so if someone writes to us or calls into our office line, there will be somebody that can answer that up through 6 o'clock Monday through Thursday. On Fridays we do close at 4:30.
Yeah, that's great because not everyone is able to get out of work right at 5. So awesome, great. Well, Meg, Mike, thank you guys so much. We appreciate it.
Half hour.
You guys are still on semester break, right?
We are off to campus. We're hitting the ground running. Class started yesterday.
Oh, well, fantastic. Good. Well, thank you very much. Will you guys enjoy and keep up the good work, please?
Thank you so much.
All righty. All right, Dan, we're almost at the top of the hour here, so hopefully we'll be back with birthdays. I don't know. Ooh, we have at least one.
Oh, that's great. And the Kingston Library.
And our pals from the library will be here. So let's go to break, and we'll be back.
Yep, our pals from the library, yay. And many thanks to Nina Postpak and Cameron Rylance for bringing us up through a terrific Tuesday. And thank you, guests from SUNY Ulster, for chiming in and updating us on everything that's going on with SUNY Ulster. Thank you so much. KCR is Kingston Community Radio, WGHQ, AM 920 and 92.5 FM. It is Tuesday, January 25th, and 25 degrees here in Uptown Kingston. This portion of Kingston Community Radio has been brought to you by Mid-Hudson Valley Federal Credit Union. 1099 Morton Boulevard in Kingston is their main office, and of course there are many locations near you for all your services. Let's go to our PSAs.
To buy your home, you became a house hunting ace, learned about loans, scoured neighborhoods, and asked the right questions. Now you're queen of your castle. If you manage that, you can get your retirement plan on track. Visiting aceyourretirement.org can help. With 401k tips and smart saving strategies, you'll feel empowered to own your retirement like you own your home. Go to aceyourretirement.org. Because when it comes to clearing financial hurdles, you're an ace. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Imagine being fired because of who you love. Imagine being denied medical treatment because of who you marry. Imagine being evicted because of who you are. Millions of Americans don't have to imagine this. They have to live it. Because in 30 states, it's legal to discriminate against LGBT people. Get the facts at beyondido.org. Brought to you by the Gill Foundation and the Ad Council.
Hi, my name is George Post from Ulster Park, New York, and I support Kingston Community Radio, and so should you. Where else can you speak to your local representatives on the air and have your questions answered? So thank you and support KCR.
And we're back, and thank you for being with us here at KCR, Kingston Community Radio, WGHQ AM 920 and 92.5 FM, and streaming online at mykcr.org. Tuesday, January 25th, and 25 degrees. It's a little coincidence. And this morning's program is brought to you by Robert Baum Commercial Realty, located at 79 St. James Street, Kingston, New York. And you can visit them and get to know them at rgbaum.com for more information. And let's get back to the on-air studio right now. We'll do the weather at 8:30. And we've got some birthdays, and we've got a new guest, and it's a terrific Tuesday. Thank you.
It is a terrific Tuesday, and it being 8 o'clock, it's time for the Boyce Brothers Dairy Milk House Cow Pie birthday giveaway.
And we have a birthday, right?
We have a birthday today. Right. So I want to wish a very happy birthday today, January 25th. Happy birthday to Missy Valet from your friends and family. So, Missy,
happy birthday.
You are the winner. Winner, chicken dinner. Go to see the fine folks at 62 O'Neill Street at the Boyce Brothers Dairy Milk House. Claim your cow pie prize. Stock up on all your other delicious dairy requirements. And thank them for sponsoring the birthday giveaway and being great people in general.
For Kingston
Thank
Community
you, Boyce
Radio.
Brothers, and congratulations.
Absolutely. Keep turning in your birthdays, please. Organizations, companies, departments, whatever. Just keep sending them in to Post Office Box 4364, Kingston, New York, 12402. That's the best way to do it. Or you can email it at kcr921@gmail.com.
All right, and we're back. We have the dynamic part of the dynamic duo here.
That's right.
Marjorie from the Kingston Area Library, good morning.
Good
Welcome
morning.
back.
Thank you.
Usually you're joined by our pal Ursula, but...
she's taking a little break this morning.
Yeah, the
so
weather's not
just
too
me.
nice.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's great.
But we're just chatting off air, and off air. And your substitutes last month did a great job, and
they
you're saying how lucky the Kingston community is to have such young, dynamic
We absolutely
People.
are. Brian James and Addie Smock. Addie Smock is our, not so new assistant director anymore. She joins us in March of 2021, so we're actually close to one full year. And Brian James joined us as our Access Services librarian last fall, so he's been with us quite a while now too. And the two of them just make a wonderful team. They're so happy to work in and for Kingston, and I'm delighted to have them working with me. It's just such a pleasure. They're wonderful, wonderful, talented librarians.
They were fantastic. They had such energy, and they were so motivated with all the different programs and what they were doing, and which was wonderful. And they even helped me, Cameron, that game that I've never.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes.
Oh,
I knew about
yes.
Dungeons and Dragons. So they did a fantastic job. So I have to tell you, Marjorie, I was talking to friends of mine that aren't from the area a couple of weeks ago, and I don't know how we got on the discussion, but they said libraries are outdated. Libraries are going to go away.
And you know better.
I said, wait 1 minute. Let me tell you about the Kingston area library and our Mid-Hudson Valley library system. And I started telling them the programs and the things, and one of my friends said, my God, that might be great. Her dad's older, and he's looking for things, socialization, and, to get out of the home and so forth. So that might be a great thing to encourage him to go and look and see what programs are being done at the libraries. I said, yes, you don't realize it's not just for going to, like it used to be, to take a book out or read a magazine. So it was enlightening to them. And
you got a rake and a wheelbarrow at our library.
That's right. I'm so glad we've created a couple new advocates to go out into the world and advocate for libraries with you guys. That's great.
Yes.
And it really is a case of people often just don't know what their libraries have to offer. They haven't really looked lately. There's a point in everybody's life where you sort of drift away from your library. Maybe you're a little busy. You don't maybe need your library in the same way. And people come and go from their libraries, and that's fine. But if you haven't looked at what your library has to offer lately, boy, you're going to be surprised.
Yeah, absolutely. As we could see right here, right, Cameron?
Absolutely.
You have quite an agenda for the month of February that's going on.
We do have, and I was mentioning Addie and Brian, and they have developed some amazing programs. One of the fun things coming up, the fun and interesting things coming up, is a lunch and learn that Addie is collaborating with the People's Place Cafe on and their Wellness Empowerment Center. You've probably, I don't know, maybe you've talked to the folks from the Wellness Empowerment.
Yes,
Oh,
Dan
of course, yes.
does,
Dan works with the Wellness Empowerment Center.
On every month from People's Place.
Yep.
Yes.
So Kingston Library is going to be collaborating with the People's Place Wellness Empowerment Center to do a lunch and learn for Black History Month. It's going to be a reading series of short fiction, short stories by African American authors. And so people are going to be invited to grab lunch at the cafe, the People's Place Cafe, and then come together in the Wellness Empowerment Center to have a book discussion over lunch. So, folks who just want to take a little break, come over, to the cafe and People's Place during lunch during February on Tuesdays at noon. It'll be a nice way to expose yourself to some new and different literature. We were talking about community building. Get together briefly with some other folks who are also readers and thinkers, and just enjoy yourself and have lunch besides. Lunch at the People's Place Cafe is wonderful.
That's fantastic. That's a great collaboration,
superb,
right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Marjorie, can you repeat the date?
It's every Tuesday in February at noon.
Oh, wow.
So lunch is free, provided by People's Place Cafe. Very generous of them. And come and have a discussion. Take a break in your day and enjoy a lunch hour little sort of enlightenment.
So, Marjorie, is it held? Do you go to the cafe first and then go up to the Wellness Empowerment Center, or is it held at the library? How does?
It's actually at the Wellness Empowerment Center, and that is at 775 Broadway. You can stop in at 777 Broadway and grab a lunch first at the cafe, and then head up to the Wellness Empowerment Center.
Perfect. That's great.
Yeah. It's a really, really sort of way to sort of shake up your lunch hour, do a little something different, take a walk, enjoy some company.
The way the cafe operates, anyone is able to enjoy the food and
absolutely.
It's by donation only.
Intellectual discussion.
Yeah, just by donation only, and that cafe they put out some pretty nice food.
Yeah, they really
is.
do. So have something different for lunch, enjoy a different lunch hour, and then head back to work for the afternoon.
That's great.
Yeah, very nice. Brian has also put together a really great panel for adults on writing for children. He's brought together a group of amazing local authors. They're listed here, Gabrielle Balkin, Jennifer Castle, Dan Poblacki, Aileen Weintraub, and they are going to be talking about writing for children. Huh. So it's not a children's program. It's a program for, teens and adults who are interested in learning how to write for children. And these very successful, talented authors are going to be coming together to discuss that.
You never know. The next Curious George might come out of this.
That's right.
You never know. Yeah. And the authors are also going to be selling and signing their books at the same time. Program is free. Come, hear what they have to say about the art and craft of writing for children, and maybe pick up a book if you want to.
And that's Thursday, February 3rd
Thursday,
at 6
February
p.m.,
3rd
right?
at 6 o'clock at the library. And that's, coming up quick. That's next week. So.
Yes. Next week is February.
Yep. And we have some really nice ongoing programs. We have a Knitter's Nook on Fridays. Monday. Every Monday afternoon at 1 o'clock at the library. No registration.
Nice. It's every Monday.
It's every Monday. Just come on in and join with other fiber artists.
One Pearl too.
Yeah, bring your project. Nice conversation. Maybe if there's a little problem or you're looking for some input on your
tips,
your craft.
Stitching and that's
and
cool.
All abilities are welcome. If you're a beginner and you want to be around more experienced folks, or if you're an experienced person.
Every crafter is more than happy to share their
absolutely
knowledge, whatever it is.
It's such
woodworker or knitter.
Yep.
They're all happy to pass it on.
Is that 1 hour?
About an hour, yep. Okay. And folks, they can just admire each other's work too. All these talented artists and craftspeople are oohing and aahing over each other's work at the same time. So that's kind of a fun thing to do. Now, also, I know from experience that every January, people through the holiday season have gotten new devices, whether it's a new phone or a tablet or an e-reader or some sort of new device. And so I just want to point out our drop-in tech time on Mondays at 3 o'clock. You can drop in and get some attention if you want to learn something new with your device, or if you want to learn a little bit more about it, or if there's something you are struggling with. Come on in.
Nice.
And our staff can help you, take a look at that.
You got a couple teenagers sitting around. They're like, oh yeah, no problem. Here you go.
You can do that.
Here you go. I'll show you.
So that's every Monday from
every
3
Monday
to 4.
at 3 o'clock. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. We were talking earlier, I don't know if we were on air or off air, but we were talking about, traditional pursuits at libraries, and reading and writing are all about libraries. And we have a regular writing group of folks that come together to share their work and discuss it, read it, critique it, learn from each other, share with each other. So that's a great program. And we have a Bring Your Own Book Club, which we've talked about before. It's a little bit of a non-traditional book club, whereas we're not all necessarily reading the same book, but you bring what you've been reading and share. Bring 2 or 3 books, talk about them. And, readers always want to hear what other people are reading. They want to try something new. They want to, share.
Yeah,
first-hand knowledge or first-hand recommendations way better than some review in a newspaper.
Yeah, and sometimes it's not a recommendation. Sometimes it's I read this and maybe try something else.
Read the last 8 pages and.
So this has caught my eye. Anti-Valentine's.
Yes, bah humbug.
My husband would love that. He's an anti-Valentine.
The old Little Rascals, the
yes.
Hitters Club. Until Darla wanted to join, and then they disbanded.
Well, we all sort of associate February with Valentine's Day, and it can be a challenge for some folks.
Yes.
Even folks who are partnered sometimes are not wild about Valentine's Day, and it's sort of mushiness and sweetness. So this is a little
confusing.
This is a little bitterness that we've sort of spiked
My husband
February
has to come
with.
to this class. I'm telling you.
Confusing. Are you supposed to go over?
It's invented to sell flowers and candy. That's him.
There we go. So it's an opportunity for teens to come and make anti-Valentine's Day cards. Maybe something a little silly. Maybe something just for your friends, just so you're all sort of in it together and nobody's feeling lonely and everybody is saying, "Hey, I'm thinking of you," and I'm not into all the mushiness, but here's something fun for you.
That's great. So that's Thursday, February 10th at 4:30.
At 4:30, so you'll have your anti-Valentine's Day cards in time to distribute them for the actual Valentine's Day. And we will be providing all of the supplies. Just come and play and have fun and do a little something different. And also here, we've talked about Universal Class, and that is an online series of programs, where you can learn any number of skills and topics and things, from cooking to software to different things. And our librarians in February, on Tuesday, February 15th at 6:30 in the evening, are going to be highlighting the personal finance classes through Universal Class. So they're going to teach you how to log in and create an account with Universal Class, and then talk about some of the personal finance courses that can help you prioritize your finances, get out of debt, prepare for retirement, learn ways of savings, just some little tips and hints and information that you can work through on your own through Universal Class. It's a free program through the library. You just need to get a library card. And so folks are going to be coming together at the library on February 15th, Tuesday evening at 6:30 to learn that and learn a little bit about some of the...
Good for any adults with teenagers who may want to help give their kids a little bit of financial guidance or tutoring, a little brush up themselves. I know I would need a brush up to advise my son, that's for sure.
Absolutely. And, people at different points in their lives, and it's January, we know that's often that time for resolutions, and I'm going to be better about my finances this year. And this is a little boost. It's a little support framework for you, so you're not out there on your own, with real solid information. And our librarians will be teaching people how to access those and talking a little bit about the programs themselves, the courses. And we've talked about Margaret's monthly craft program. It's open for teens and adults, but I will say that we were talking about seniors coming to their library and having a little socialization. I walk by these classes that Margaret does once a month on Wednesdays, and it is just a buzzing beehive. People are. Attendance is very, she does limit attendance only because of the nature of what it is. But, there's usually about 15 folks in there. We provide all the supplies. It's a free program to attend. You do have to register so that she knows,
Are you guys still doing the children's crafts to go thing? I remember.
Stephanie actually is doing Tuesday story hours with a craft associated with it.
So I remember during the... And then, the major shutdown a year ago, you guys were doing crafts to go or something.
We were. We do that a little bit every now and then, but mostly it's in person. So if people want to come in and pick something up. Good. But these craft programs are an opportunity. I think it's almost as much socialization as craft and art for folks. They come and friendships have formed through the years at these programs, and it's really nice to see. They just love being together, and Margaret's an excellent teacher. So those are on Wednesdays. The next one is Paint Chip Mosaics on Wednesday, February 16th at 6 p.m. And those paint chip, the sample strips that you get with all those beautiful colors on them. They're going to be tearing those up and making mosaics with them.
That's great.
Yeah, which is kind of fun. And again, we have another regular book club that meets on Fridays once a month at lunchtime at 1 p.m. The next one is Friday, February 18th. Happy birthday, Cam.
Thank you.
The February book is The Postmistress by Sarah Blake. There's still plenty of time to read it if you want to join in on February 18th at 1 o'clock at the library. No registration required. You can just read the book, stop by and join some other book lovers and discuss that book. And again, in February, it's Mardi Gras.
Mardi Gras.
Mardi Gras. We love Mardi Gras. So we're going to be, for adults and teens, we're going to be doing Mardi Gras mask making. So we will, again, supply all the supplies. You can use them for decoration. You can use them to actually wear as masks. And for Mardi Gras, it's just a fun thing to do.
So who conducts like the Mardi Gras mask making?
That, I think, is going to be either Brian or Addie. They are working hard on most of these programs. We have other folks pitching in. Our 1 p.m. Friday book club is run by a volunteer who's been with us for many, many years, Vivi Lavsa, a retired university professor who just loves to share the love of reading, and she's been doing that book club. Margaret Britton, one of our regular staff members, does the craft program. But a lot of the teen and adult programs are done by Brian and Addie. They plan them and run them.
That's great.
And we were talking about gaming too. At the very end of the month, on Friday, February 25th, in the afternoon after school, there's going to be a teen game time where people can come together, either virtually over Google Meet or in person in our teen room to play some fun games on their phones. And frankly, games. I'm feeling old.
I don't know any of these games.
Leo, among us,
I was like, garlic. What the hell?
And garlic. Among us, I have heard of. I've never played it, but these are games that I guess all the cool kids are playing.
I guess.
Have you Wordle? I just heard about Wordle the other day.
I'm completely addicted to Wordle. Oh,
I'm worried about trying it because I might get addicted too.
Well, Wordle is a word game. It's online. It was created by a man in the UK for his partner who loves word games. And it's what it is you go to the website and it's an opportunity to solve a puzzle, which is a 5-letter word. You have 6 opportunities to guess that 5-letter word. And it's
So you go to the
phenomenon.
website to do
You
it.
go to the website. It's not an app. You have to go to the website. I actually have a shortcut on my home screen on my phone. I do it every morning.
And you try to guess the word using as few clues as possible, right?
You get no clues. It's 5 letters.
Oh, and it's just.
And you get 6 opportunities, and that's it. And there are all sorts of things being written online about techniques and tips and hints and how people go about it, and it's a lot of fun.
Though, isn't it? I mean, is there any context at all? Or?
No, other than the fact that it's 5 letters. It's English. People have their theories about, whether you start with I tend to start with a lot of vowels.
Right.
To see what I can get. There are letters that appear more often in English than other letters. Like I think the letter E.
Cease, yield. Lapse. I don't know.
It's a lot of fun.
I haven't tried it yet, but I just don't get it. Yeah, I got to.
Oh, you spell it.
Wordle. And it's spreading like wildfire.
Yeah,
and the creator of the game created a share feature. So once you've solved it, you hit share and you can share, and it's just a little diagram. It doesn't give away the word. They can see how many. It's just a series of colored boxes.
Oh, that's what that is.
Yeah, so you can see, see how many guesses somebody took and what their letters are. It's a lot of fun. So
it's like Wheel of Fortune without the clue.
Kinda.
Right?
Yeah.
Because usually you have a clue first, and then you give the vowels, and then
And it's only 1 word a day. So once you've solved it, you're done.
You're done.
Nothing
and
else.
it's only 5 letters.
And it's only 5 letters. And I have to say that's one of the things that I personally love about it, because it's maybe 10 minutes of your day. I usually do it over my lunch and solve it, and boy, is it fun.
I had to try it.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah.
People are addicted.
Yep.
Instantly addicted.
And I'm playing, with or against several people in my life, so I immediately share with all of the other people.
Okay.
So we, I got it in 3. It took me 6, and it's fun. It's a lot of fun. So yes.
Maybe Wordle will be on the teen game night someday.
I don't know if it's teens playing it or older folks playing it. I don't know. It might not be cool for teens to be playing.
Yeah. If adults are playing it now.
Yeah, right. And I also gave you all the sheet that I think Addie probably mentioned when they were with you in December, the 2022 Reader Challenge. So she has put together a monthly calendar of reading suggestions for folks to sort of inspire reading. You know, those of us who are readers maybe tend to get stuck in a rut. We have our favorite authors, we have our favorite genres, and this is 12 months of an opportunity to try something new, break out of what you regularly read. So January, there's still time to read something new. New year, new authors, debut authors. So every year there's people who are writing their first book. Oh, yeah. And so the suggestion for January is to read a debut author, somebody who's just published their first book. And it goes on through the month or through the year, month by month. And as you read something, you can bring your sheet into the library with the title and author, and you get a little prize. So it's kind of like the old summer reading. You know, you finish a book and you get a sticker or a stamp or a so if you read something new, if you challenge yourself a little bit, bring it into the library and you get a little reward. So, the reward of reading and an actual physical reward as well. So it's just a fun way to frame some of your reading in the coming year.
That's great. It gives you kind of a pathway of what to choose and, different things.
It's an idea, rather than being, what's for dinner tonight?
Exactly.
What should I read? It's July. Oh, wow. I'll pick, look, a hot summer reading. I'll pick
Yep. And if you want suggestions, you can go to our website. You can come to the library. And we're going to be, at the end of the year, if you complete the whole sheet, we're going to be doing a raffle for a gift certificate to Half Moon Books.
Oh, that's nice.
One of our local bookstores. Yep. So, like I said, sometimes folks like me, sometimes I'm like, what do I read next? Give me something interesting. Give me something new. And this is a nice way to do that.
Yeah, exactly. We'll point you in the right direction.
Yep.
Now, on a bigger picture, I guess, anything going on? I saw a recently announcement, a couple blocks up from you is a location, the Kingston Land Bank. They're going to be fixing up
some tiny homes.
Gray house.
Oh, yep.
There's the gray house a block up, then 2 blocks up is the tiny house site.
Yeah,
which is,
great things are happening in Midtown.
And something recently else.
Aren't they doing the sidewalks?
The street. I guess that's
the Franklin Street project is going to happen this year, I think.
There was just something recently in the paper
about that.
Something engineering about it or something.
Yes.
Could be. Good morning.
Which is great. But anything else going on with the building or the neighborhood or anything?
We are just plugging along with our building, updating it, maintaining it. We're doing a little insulation this coming year and some foundation work around the base. The building, if you've looked at our facade, you see that it's 1880. It just feels like, we have a responsibility for this beautiful old building, and we're gonna keep
absolutely
keep our hands on it and keep our eyes on it.
Keep it standing than is to build a new one.
Yes, and we just love that building. The old Sojourner Truth School, the brick. It's very Kingston, very First Capital.
Is there any signage or recognition of the fact that was, Sojourner Truth School and,
There isn't.
I mean, because that's rather, that was named in what, the 60s or something, 50s?
Now,
so to me, that's rather progressive. So whenever that school was named, at that point in American history, there weren't a lot of institutions named after, freedom fighter, abolitionists, or women like that.
Women of color, for sure, yeah.
That's
we
very
should
progressive.
talk off the air, Marjorie, because for the Black History Month, we're doing a whole panel on Sojourner Truth. Judge McGinty has a whole exhibit up in her courtroom that she just opened just recently, and we're using a lot of the components because we worked with her on it to create this, the pop-up panels.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we're putting that on display this coming month, for Black History Month. But as we were speaking before, we would love to move it maybe to the library in March or April. What a perfect home for a month. So let's
That
talk
would be
about that
amazing. You could turn it
Yeah.
into a little bit of a traveling exhibit, and we would love to be a home for that for a period of time.
Okay, great.
No doubt.
It would just be a real great match for us.
Okay, great. We'll
There you go. See?
And the clerk's office always does such a great job with those displays. It's
thank you.
remarkable. We've been home to host to some of them in the past, and
You
they're
have.
they're beautiful. Oh my goodness, yeah.
Yeah, and we appreciate that. It's a great partnership. I know we did the Bluestone one a while back, and that was fantastic.
Yep.
And we appreciate it. We're before you came on the air, we were talking.
I actually asked what they did with the old exhibits.
exhibits.
And she said, libraries and museums,
Yeah.
and we try to keep them in circulation.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Or
They
not
become
hilarious.
sort of traveling
Yeah.
exhibits.
Yeah, and
For
libraries are a great
the
place.
tie with Sojourner
Oh,
Truth,
yeah.
it's
It's
awesome.
perfect.
So.
Yeah, that'd be
So-
great.
Okay.
So we got about a minute left. So Marjorie, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you. Always a pleasure.
As usual, you are busy.
So kingstonlibrary.org for more information. 55 Franklin Street. We're open. We're asking people to continue to wear masks in the building, or 845-331-0507.
Great. Thank you so much.
Awesome. So thank you for being here. Appreciate it.
Thank
Great
you.
month.
See you next month, and we'll go to break, and we'll be back with Paul Hakeem at the bottom of the hour.
Excellent.
Thank you, Cameron Rylance and Nina Poshapak, and thank you, Marjorie, for being with us from Kingston Library. And it's now at the bottom of the hour, and you're with us on Kingston Community Radio, KCR AM 920, 92.5 FM, WGHQ, and our live streaming on mykcr.org. Tuesday, January 25th, and this last portion of Kingston Community Radio has been brought to you by Robert Baum Commercial Realty, located at 79 St. James Street, Kingston, New York. And visit rgbaum.com for more information. We'll be right back after these messages.
Kids dream big. Protect your child's dreams by keeping them healthy. If your son or daughter is age 11 or 12, the American Cancer Society recommends giving them the HPV vaccine to help prevent HPV cancers later. Learn more at cancer.org/dreambig.
The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation of America invites you to take steps for cures at a walk near you. Support the 1.6 million Americans living with these diseases. Get started at cctakesteps.org.
My mother was very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign and she wasn't even really sure where she was at.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Nearly 250,000 men and women in the U.S. will be diagnosed with breast cancer this year.
Breast cancer is unacceptable.
Visit Komen.org/unacceptable.
Hi, this is Tony Marmo from Norman Staffing, and we've been bringing together employers and job seekers since 1980. If you're an employer and have job vacancies, let Norman Staffing help fill them with permanent or temporary workers. We screen, interview, and recommend the best candidates for your company. We make the employment process easier and faster for you. Please call Norman Staffing for your employment needs at 338-9111, 338-9111, or normanstaffing.com.
Hi, this is Shirley Stabe from Kingston, and I support Kingston Community Radio, and so should you.
Thank you, Shirley. And it is Tuesday, a terrific Tuesday, January 25th, and 25 degrees right now here in Uptown Kingston. And you're with us here at WGHQ AM 920 and 92.5 FM, and streaming online at mykcr.org. 2-hour delays for most area schools today. Rhinebeck School District, New Paltz School District, Saugerties, Red Hook, Rondout, Onteora, and Kingston. We are all on a 2-hour delay today, and a lot of other services follow that, so keep posted. 36 degrees is our high today with peaks of sunshine expected late. And 9 degrees. It goes down to 9 degrees tonight with clear skies. And mostly sunny skies on Wednesday with a high of 23. Bitterly cold Wednesday night with a low down to 1 degree. And that might be even lower in different districts. Thursday, partly cloudy with a high of 27. And Thursday night, partly cloudy during the evening, followed by cloudy skies overnight. A low of 17. This upcoming portion of Kingston Community Radio is brought to you by Rondout Savings Bank, always working for you and our community with branches in Kingston, West Hurley, and Hyde Park. Also online at rondoutbank.com. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. Our call-in line is 331-9255, 331-9255. It's Tuesday, January 25th. 25 degrees right now here in Uptown Kingston. And let's get back to the on-air studio with Nina Poshpak, Cameron Rylance, and our brand new guest, Paul Hakim.
And we're back.
Yes,
the home
we
stretch with Paul Hakim.
Good morning.
Showing me that jalopy he has to travel around in.
Yeah, we got a Kia.
Yeah. With two twin turbo.
But the Kia. Kia's a wonderful vehicle. We got to go plug for Kingston Kia.
With twin turbojet engines on it.
Yeah.
Especially once you get to the Genesises.
Yeah. The Kia, the Santa Fe, the plug-in Santa Fe, or the electric Santa Fe is supposed to be like the best electric car out there.
Really?
Yeah, I read in Consumer Reports, super high ratings, higher than the Tesla Fit and Fan. Yeah, so anyhow, I guess they're making a good electric car.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But
I
South Koreans are
don't know if
crafty.
I'm ready for electric yet.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're priced. They're too pricey for me, you know?
I want some more horsepower.
Yeah, and
Something
you're
about
a little
Although the
limited.
acceleration, nothing goes faster than an electric car.
Yeah, you can go 100.
There's never been
You can go 120 miles an hour
Instantly.
on it.
Top fuel dragster,
in a
yeah.
Tesla.
Right. One of the new Vets, I think they're
Yeah.
like, the Vets are now like 750, 800 horsepower, but they're coming out with the next generation. It's going to have 2 electric motors on the front wheels, and it makes it the equivalent of like 1,100 horsepower.
I believe it, yeah. Because it's instant. There's no ramp up. You know, the transmission is there's no.
It's like
it's
like the
crazy.
subway.
Yeah. But putting that much more
Hold on to
traction
the
on the
pole.
ground
Hold
is
on
gonna
to the
make that
pole.
car. I mean, that's the limit of acceleration is wheel slip. You know, if your wheels spin, you can't accelerate. It's the traction that makes.
Well, I've been spinning my wheels for a long time.
In place, yeah.
So is that the problem? It's a traction
place.
issue? Is
Yeah,
that what it is?
Yeah, right? So since last time you were on the air, there's been a little bit of movement in Kingston. It looks like the vocal opposition of the Kingstonians has been countered a little bit, and some lawsuits have been put down. And
Yeah, I think our friend there might come up with some more reasons to sue.
I don't know. Hopefully, he's running out of them.
That's the problem when you got 3 or 4 attorneys on staff, and you can just say, for the average person to go sue somebody, you walk into the attorney, and he's going to go, okay, let's start with a check for like $10,000.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about assembling.
I'll tell you when that's up.
That's right. We probably won't even be into court yet,
Yeah.
but. He's got staff, and what do they say? Idle hands do the work of the devil,
Exactly.
right?
Tool of the devil. Yeah.
So we just got to move on, and hopefully we can motivate that gentleman to start doing some things with his properties.
Yes, that would be a
and
nice thing.
participate in our economic growth in Kingston here.
Instead of trying to hinder it.
Yeah, exactly. Sitting on zombie properties practically. It's been sitting there, 4 years or so?
It's a shame, but he's speculating as opposed to participating. So he's trying to, ride everybody else's hard work in an increase in his values. From what I understand, a very capable gentleman, but if you're listening, jump into the game. We need all oars in the water right now.
Paddle in the same direction.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. So it's counterproductive. We're turning it back into a great place to be again.
Had other bidders won the Crown Street building, it would have been fully renovated by now, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I would have finished that a couple years ago.
Yeah. I didn't want to say who would have been, but yeah. I know it would have been done and occupied and paying more taxes and have been a benefit rather than just a half an eyesore.
Well, but he ended up paying like 5 times or 6 times what I almost purchased
Yeah.
it for,
Yeah.
which is probably what it was worth, but good for the school district.
Yeah.
So hopefully
Oh,
that'll
yeah.
offset some of our school taxes since he severely overpaid for that property.
Yep,
But
amen.
God bless him.
Yeah.
But hopefully the Kingstonian is going to get some traction. It's going to be a little inconvenience uptown for a little while.
What is it? I mean,
anything, right?
But I'm hoping they put up a tower crane because I've always wanted
Oh,
to
yeah,
see a
US
tower
crane, yeah.
in Kingston because
Yes.
then we'd know we made it.
That's right.
Right?
Isn't there sort of a threshold? Like if you see a tower crane, it's like a $20 million job or more. Or something?
Typically minimum $50 million.
$50 million.
project.
Okay,
Yeah. So they're really expensive to put up.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well,
is the reason.
Yeah.
So they
we can keep those locally too. By the way.
That's right.
Yeah, locally sourced.
That's right.
Yeah.
Locally sourced tower crane.
That's right. It's like we're bringing it's like farm to market.
Yeah, exactly.
At a whole nother level.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, but winter's fully upon us. I think I've had enough of it already.
Yeah.
I've had
I'm
enough of
kinda
COVID.
lucky.
I've had enough of COVID too.
Yeah, that too.
Well, they're saying that we might be getting out of the surge and
Turning
might
the
be
corner.
going-
I
yeah.
hope.
Oh, wait, Dan, can you do a replay from a year ago? Because I think we were having the same
Yeah, we're
conversation.
getting out of the
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
we
well,
can
if they
do-
quit testing, we would have
We'll
COVID.
do-
so
that's
you-
right.
Yeah,
We'll
go
do
back
a
to the
rewind.
archives.
Yeah.
Well, somebody told me all those free tests are all positives. So
Oh, yeah,
don't
right.
get any of the free ones.
Yeah, yeah.
It's worth the $10 to buy it and be negative.
And be
right?
be sure. Yeah, that's just evil thought, but you never know.
Yeah,
Stranger things have happened.
Well, we're 2 years into it, and I've got to get my body back in shape. I've been a little lax, and actually going to the gym today.
All
Oh,
right.
yeah, I haven't been back to the gym, I have to be honest, since COVID.
Well, I'm just starting to feel my age. It's
Yeah.
not good.
Yeah,
It's
no, I
not
know.
good.
It's not good. It
I always,
isn't.
for the last 2 years, I felt good every time I saw the charge on my credit card every month.
Right.
And it was like, oh, God, I feel lighter.
Yeah.
Great, I feel
Like,
strong.
your wallet's lighter.
Well, it was, $20 or $25 a month or whatever it is. I just didn't have the heart to cancel my membership and do that to a small business person.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So,
Sure.
I'll say it's only $25. Not that that's not real money, but if everybody did that to that small business person,
Stay away.
Yeah, sure, it's a huge impact.
They got overhead and bill, their
So
bills don't go away.
can't wait to get back to Mac today. Here
right,
we go.
there you
Here
go.
I come.
See Holly, right?
Yeah, that's right. And hopefully they're waiting for me. Going to roll out the red carpet.
That's right. We have
I'm
your locker
sure.
all ready for you.
Ollie, are you listening?
Yeah, I hope my scan thing still works.
Yeah, right. They have to cut the padlock off your whole locker. You forgot the combo, right?
Yeah, but the last 2 years has it's dragged on, but also it's gone really fast.
It has.
Right.
It has.
So I'm doing all that, getting to the gym, getting all caught up with my doctor's appointments, and doing the whole did the dentist, doing the cardiologist, going for a colonoscopy.
There you go. Get them all inside and out, top to bottom.
Yep.
Beginning of the year.
You have to, man. You have to.
We get re-baselined before
That's
I
right.
turn 60.
There you go.
60's on the horizon.
Fun
Oh,
day, yeah.
this year?
No. I get a year and a half.
Oh, so you have time.
23?
Yeah.
Yeah.
2023? There you go.
Yeah.
So it's good. It's good.
That's a good thing.
But sounds like you got a nice trip coming up there, Mr. Riley.
Yeah, in the middle of March. Looking forward to it. I was saying earlier, I went to Bel Air on Friday, and the conditions were fantastic. Now, I had heard that the old snowmaker from Hunter, has, left there and joined the staff at Bel Air.
Oh, really?
I don't know what, but the mountain was fantastic. But I want to go skiing, but I don't because I have this once in a lifetime trip in March. I don't want to risk getting hurt. If I hurt myself skiing, I'd rather be in the Italian Alps. Honestly, rather than
I understand
stumbling down the mountains in the Catskill. So and then free healthcare in Italy too. So
Well,
I might
that's
come
why
back. No, I'm teasing. I do not want to get hurt anywhere.
No,
but
That's why I always said, with parachuting, you can go skydive the ranch in Gardner. But if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it in the Cape.
There you go.
Chatham, right?
Okay, yeah.
Because that way, if something happened, I'd make the Boston Globe instead of the Daily Free.
Yeah, there you go. And Massachusetts got great insurance. That state system they have there. Plus, it's a better view.
Things that motivate us.
It's a better view coming down. You can see the Cape and everything. Gardner, you see the gunks maybe? I'm beautiful, but I'd rather look down on the Cape.
Right. Well, I'd rather be like page 4 in the Boston Globe than the headline of the Freeman.
Yeah, no doubt.
Oh, God.
All right, we got Dan laughing. That's a good thing.
Absolutely. That was good. That
That's
was
a very
good.
good thing. So you've been traveling or no, not really?
Yeah, I
First year?
did a lap about a week and a half ago, and heading back out next week.
Well, Charlotte has more snow than we do.
Yes, they
Oh yeah,
do.
Crazy.
I stopped there. I stopped there for an overnight the day before it snowed, and in my son's parking lot in this apartment building, I thought it had snowed because I'm serious. There was like a half inch of salt. You could not see the parking lot. There was so
Really?
much salt
Preemptive
down.
strike?
Right, and then I went to one of his projects, and we were talking to the contractor, and this is on Friday, and he's like, "Oh," he goes, "we're probably not going to make it back in till Wednesday. We're supposed to get like 2 or 3 inches tomorrow."
Well, they don't have plows. They don't have salt. They don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't have it.
Well, that's like in Colorado. Out in Colorado, we were doing a renovation out there a couple of years ago, and the contractors in all the trades had in their contracts a 6-inch clause.
Oh,
All
really?
right? So you get 6 inches of snow. That's it. They're not working. That's because they want to go skiing.
Oh, yeah.
Right, I was gonna say, yeah.
Not because they're afraid of driving in it.
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
but that's
exactly.
pretty smart.
That is smart. Yeah, right. 6 inches, hey.
Yeah, and the county should have that. Get the 2-inch clause. Everybody up to Bel Air.
Yeah, that would
Yeah.
go over big. Yeah,
And
yeah.
do they still have the bus that goes from the plaza up to Bel
Yeah,
Air?
well, the regular route, yeah, that's one of their regular routes. They used to have a ski express. I don't know if they used to, but it's on the regular Pine Hill route.
Yeah, because we used to get a kick out of that. They'd close school because kids can't go to school.
And then they all get on the
and
bus
then
and go-
you go down to the plaza, and there was,
kids standing
it
on
was like
snowboards,
50 kids waiting for the buses to go up skiing.
Yeah.
It's like we can't go 3 miles on the bus, but we can go 30.
Up the highway.
Yeah, right. Go skiing.
That's smart kids. Smart kids.
Yeah, very smart kids.
Oh, it's all good. So what else have I missed? I was on tour last week. I went Charlotte, Tampa, Fort Myers, Austin, Houston, and then home. Did a little bit of a loop here,
It was
checking
a little
on.
cooler down there than normal, wasn't it? Or
You know what's amazing? You get down to Florida and Texas, and they don't have COVID down there.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I had to say I was in Arizona just a couple of weeks ago, and I was shocked. Like, I kept saying, "Oh my gosh, I forgot my mask," and they're like, "Oh no, you don't have to worry about your mask."
Yeah.
Every place I went into, I was like, Then in California, it was the exact opposite. Where's your vaccination card?
Freaking out, yeah.
Yeah, right.
But the hospitals
So,
in
yeah,
Arizona weren't overflowing, were they? There wasn't there wasn't.
I thank God I didn't have the opportunity
Yeah.
to see that, so I'm not
It's not.
sure.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Though I did read in the paper that New York, certain Northeast, the COVID cases are going downward very swiftly. But Arizona hit me because I was just there, is still way up there with COVID cases. So, but we were first. So now ours are starting to decline. But yeah, it's interesting from state to state.
Yeah.
It's just how different each state handles it, and how some are so strict and others are.
It's still around, right? So it
Yeah.
went through our household. I I was sick. I had like a really bad cold 2 weeks before Christmas, and I just couldn't shake it. No fever or anything, but headaches and like all those Omicron symptoms.
Yeah.
And that was before Omicron was a thing, I guess, because I really
Does
weren't
that
doing-
make you the new variant? Does that you lose your sense of taste and smell also, or do you know?
I have not heard that you do. I had to be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't know.
for
That would be
a
the
fact,
worst
but I
for
haven't
me.
heard you- Yeah, my sense of taste, that would be all.
Oh, the coffee tastes good.
Tastes
So
like
I
coffee. I think it's coffee. Can't taste it. I don't know.
Yeah, vaccinated, boosted. Everybody in the household is, and then I went to the Ready Care, and then went in. She put me on a Z-Pack because I just had a really bad cold. That was fine. Just couldn't shake it. Actually, still have congestion and headaches and stuff from it, and it's a month. But she asked me if I wanted a COVID test. I was like, why? It's I'm like 10 days into symptoms, so I'll probably test negative anyway. But
Right.
fast forward 2 weeks later, it's like Tuesday before Christmas, it went right through our whole household. Everybody's boosted, the works. But even my pregnant daughter had it, my 2-year-old grandson had it, and Again, just the mild
Right,
cold
yeah.
symptoms, fortedly.
Yeah, and thank God.
Yeah,
Maybe
no
because the
issues,
vaccine
um,
and the booster, you
yeah.
know,
Yeah.
yeah, because you know, there's people that we all know that unfortunately end up in the hospital. I know someone who passed away. I mean, so you're thankful that when you have the vaccine, you have the booster, that the symptoms are mild. Who knows? And you might have been fine if you weren't. You don't know. So.
Yeah. So I think I had it because everybody else around me had it. I
Yeah.
was in the house
You probably
with them.
started it.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
A bunch of people, you know, family, they went to Disney, they came home 2 days later, all 5 of them are
Yeah.
coughing and sick, you know, so.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
But
you just
hey,
don't know
listen,
what
you
it
know,
is.
it's January. It's the peak of flu
Yes,
season. Everybody's
exactly.
getting sick.
Yes,
you
this is
gotta,
normal time for
you know,
it, yes.
you travel, you do anything, keep your hands in your pockets, don't touch everything.
Yeah, right. Use your hand
Keep
sanitizer.
your mask on. You don't need that free soda on the plane. Just
Right.
keep your mask on.
Yeah, right.
Read your book.
Free soda.
Just don't breathe on me.
Put that air on. Turn it on.
Well, that's the worst part in the airplane. You know, it's just they get that thing blowing on you, and it's like, where's that air coming
That
from?
guy in
Yeah,
front.
right.
Yeah. Who's in front of the intake? You know.
Right. Well, you know, they were going to do mandatory vaccinations for people on air travel. I think that's something Fauci was floating around out there. And I think that's wrong because you're not in as close of confined area as you are in the subway or on a bus, right?
Right.
Go trailways, jump on trailways.
Stand
or-
on a strap hanger
or the
on
subway,
a subway
on the
station.
subway, you know,
Yeah.
why isn't that mandatory vaccination here? So,
Yeah.
it to me that seemed like they were targeting a demographic, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
you know, maybe they said, oh, maybe you know, people that can afford to fly aren't the ones getting vaccinated, and so
Right.
it's just kind of weird how they're targeting some of this, some of
See,
these
I would
rules,
think almost the opposite. Not the opposite, but you know.
right? And I got to be careful because now I'll get squelched here like John Lennon. Here, did you see he came out with something with the COVID and they
Oh no, I didn't see that.
John Legend?
Oh no, John who was it? Lennon?
Entertainer?
Oh yeah, who was it?
Politician?
Oh, who was it? Oh, was it Neil Young or somebody just got squelched yesterday?
Oh really?
Oh, yeah,
He
no.
said something about COVID and not getting vaccinated, and they pulled him from Spotify.
Really?
And-
Wow.
Yeah.
No, I didn't
Some big
see that.
musician.
Dan, look that up. Google that for us.
Oh, God. That's a challenge there, Paul.
That's crazy Canadians. You never know, right?
Yeah.
You don't.
Yeah.
You don't.
But you know, hopefully we're on the on the good
On the-
decline here and headed in a good direction with all this.
Yes.
Because I've
yes.
had enough of it. I've had enough of just staying in the office. I want to get back out. We need to have some business social events. We need to get some networking stuff going again. And
I know the chamber's doing their breakfasts again, so that's a
Live?
good thing.
Yeah.
Live
Oh,
in
good,
person.
good. Well,
yes.
they better. Irishman of the Year is going to be coming up.
That's
soon,
right.
so
That's right.
They have to have it
That's
in
always
person
a big
for that.
one, right?
well, if you drink enough beer, you don't get COVID either. I
Oh
heard
well,
that.
maybe that's why I've been.
That
heard
could be.
that.
Maybe that's why I've been healthy.
See, you didn't know that.
That's
Cameron.
right. It's my own therapy.
So that beer.
That's right. You know.
There you go.
Hey, I think it was Neil Young. Dan. If you're
Yeah.
Googling.
Really? Huh.
Yeah.
The first thing I see here is that Neil Young demands Spotify remove his music over false information about vaccines.
Oh wow.
So
Huh.
we'll look it up.
Yep. So the news will follow, and
right.
after this announcement. Yeah, but no word on Tech City. Been pretty quiet on Tech City.
They're moving.
Has.
They're moving though.
Yeah, it has been quiet though. Yeah, not too much information going on there.
Okay.
Yeah, and what was the other development that was just recently in the newspaper?
Well, there's some people coming out against the Winston Farm development, which is
It isn't even anything yet.
yeah,
right?
yeah.
They're floating
bought
some
the property,
concepts.
Yeah.
a couple down on Beale Street though. Somebody had purchased like 3 different
Oh
properties.
yes, they
He's
want to
going
build
to
some
take the
apartments.
church
Yeah,
and make that into apartment building.
and build a couple others. Now, where exactly was that?
Wasn't it down on the Strand, like a Beale Street? And
I'm trying to think
Oh,
what
my
church
goodness.
that would be.
matter of fact, when I read the article, I had to remember when Paul comes on to talk about that.
Yeah.
Now, I wonder if people are going to start squawking and demand a portion of that be affordable housing.
Well, I think it's mandatory in the city if it's over 10 units. I think that 10 or 20% need to be
Dedicated.
workforce, 80% of the AMI. Which in the city of Kingston, when you do that calculation, it's still $1,500 and $1,800 rent.
Is it really?
Yeah.
That market rate?
Yep, because of the AMI is higher in the city of Kingston. It's a little bit of an anomaly for the county. But, we need workforce housing, so, we need the high end, we need the lower end, but we need the middle of the road stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's really what's missing is the workforce housing stuff that's targeted for, our municipal workers and nurses.
Everything,
and, all that type of stuff. And that's just the mainstream housing.
And, sadly, even if something was approved tomorrow, it's going to be a year and a half until people are moving in, minimum, It'll
be probably more than that.
Yeah. But so I'm just saying this problem isn't going away anytime soon.
Right.
And, the more we NIMBY and, throw up lawsuits, the longer it's going to be. We're going to be looking at 2030 before we got any houses built around here or apartments or anything.
And, it's, I don't know whether it's a soundbite, but everybody's still screaming crisis, from a political level, from a planning.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but you may be able to address this. Kingston just passed something about a landlord law or a good cause? Or
good cause eviction, right?
What exactly is that?
Well, they're trying to chase the investors away, right? Unfortunately, we've got a lot of blight in our community, a lot of neglected properties that people have not invested in.
Mm-hmm.
And, I think they just put that final nail in the coffin on those places getting renovated. Because if you renovate that place and, you've got those historical $800 a month rents and, there were a lot of those around, 3-4 years ago. When a landlord makes a $50,000 investment in a property, they need to see additional return.
Absolutely,
okay?
yeah.
Right? So just using round numbers, they throw $50,000 into the property and they want to see a 10% return on their capital, right? So they're putting in the $50,000, the 10% returns $5,000 a year increase. So if that's a 2-family, it's $2,500. That's it's a couple
divided
$100
by 12, $200
right,
a month.
So it's simple math. So I think they're deterring people from doing that.
Now, so this rule is you can't evict people for good cause?
Well, if the tenant is performing, not breaking the rules, and current into rent, you can't raise more than 5% without going in front of a judge. Okay, and I just hope that judge
annually,
has
5% annually.
5% annually, right? So, so the flip side of that is, if I wanted somebody out as a residential tenant, I just raised their rent continually, compounding 5% annually, and I bet they'd move in a couple of years because that's a pretty substantial increase.
Yeah, that is.
Right? So, I can't tell you how many tenants we've had for years, and I've got some 20-year tenants. I've got some tenants that have been with us for 15 years, and they're paying up maybe $100 more than they were 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Right.
Right? And, our taxes go up, insurance goes up, fuel, oil, all that type of stuff.
Got to put a new roof on the place.
Right.
Yeah.
And, we mentioned this before, and I am trying to find the right attorney or judge to discuss this with, but there's two pieces to a payment that a tenant makes to a landlord every month. And in commercial, you pay rent, and then you pay what's called CAM charges, common area maintenance. So if you're in an office building, you pay your rent, right? And then you have your own meters, you pay your own utilities, just like in an apartment. But then when I get the insurance bill or the plowing bill or the garbage bill, it gets split up pro rata. So you might be in a smaller suite in the office building, so you might pay 18% of the pass-through expenses. That's not rent, that's operating costs.
Right.
Just like if you were a homeowner.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So me, from an investor perspective, all right, I'm, if I bought a property that has, an 8% return, okay, I bought into that. I expect that. I anticipate that happening for a long period of time. It doesn't necessarily, I'd like it to go up, but it doesn't necessarily need to go up to maintain my level of investment. So if it's an 8% return, I'm still going to get an 8% return, right? That's fair. Otherwise, I put it in the stock market and say get a 6% return, but have no responsibility. Just get a statement every month.
Yep.
So now with this good cause eviction, I think you're going to start seeing, and I'm trying to fashion, I want to do the same thing that the commercial rents are structured. I want you to pay your rent, okay, but you're in a 2-family. you get half of the tax bill, you get half of the garbage, you get half of the, snow plowing and maintenance, and those are the variables.
Sure.
So my rent is going to stay flat, okay,
Right.
but the fluctuation in expenses we are all prone to, and it's only fair to
And
be.
you can't
to be
anticipate,
Right. So, because what that translates to is, let's say like New York City, there's probably X percent more renters than owners.
Right.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
All of those people vote, right? And so if you've got fixed rent, you're not going to vote the same way as I do, because I'm going to keep my elected officials fiscally sound or fiscally conservative.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, again, you're going to be
That's
some
interesting.
unique
You
and
might
creative.
Creative
ways to do it.
Yeah,
and
the forefront of a new rental structure right there.
And again, we're almost over.
You heard it here
and
first.
before we go, I gotta, we haven't had anybody call in a long time, but I love going into the diner dicings and stuff and hearing people go, I heard you on the radio.
There you go.
It's like, well, why didn't you call in? So I'd like to do a shout out to Jack Finch.
Oh,
Okay, who
Yes.
I saw at the diner a couple weeks ago and talked to him for a while, and he enjoys the show, loves listening to you guys.
Thank you, Jack.
But Jack, please call in next time I'm on.
That's right. 1 month from today.
Yeah, he was my elementary school principal. I went
wow.
to, it was Hurley School at that point. Ernie Meyer retired.
Yeah. Oh,
and
yes.
Jack Finch took over. I was in 3rd grade. I won't tell you what year that was, but it was a long time ago. And it's
Wow,
great.
that's
And
cool.
then it got
Yeah,
named
it
to the Meyer School there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
good morning,
Ernie
Jack.
Myers, there's
Good,
cool.
it's good to see you.
Awesome. Well, my dad had M. Clifford Miller as a teacher. I think,
right,
which I think is
yeah.
neat.
So that's going way back.
There you go. All right, everybody, we got to go. So
Tuesday.
thank you.
Thank you for listening.
And I will see you next Tuesday.
That was a quick half hour.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much, Paul Hakeem, and all our guests today. You are with us here at KCR, Kingston Community Radio, AM 920 and 92.5 FM. And we very, very much thank Megan Shealy and Mike Pulcari for calling in from SUNY Ulster, and Marjorie from our wonderful, wonderful Kingston Library, and Paul Hakeem, always staying in touch with everything that's positive and developing in Kingston with real estate. And this last portion of Kingston Community Radio has been brought to you by Rondout Savings Bank. Rondout Savings, always working for you and the community, with branches in Kingston, West Hurley, and Hyde Park, and also online at rondoutbank.com. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. And again, just a reminder that all school districts in the area are on a 2-hour delay. Rhinebeck School District, New Paltz, Saugerties, Red Hook, Rondout, Onteora, and Kingston are all on a 2-hour delay today. Okay, so and those who follow the 2-hour delay are also, like for instance, People's Place. They will be on a 2-hour delay as well. So thank you, Nina Postapak and Cameron Rylance, for bringing us a terrific Tuesday, and we invite you to keep up with us every weekday, 7 to 9 a.m., and we will have a Super Wednesday tomorrow, 7 to 9 a.m., and until tomorrow, we wish you every success in growing and developing Kingston and all our neighboring communities. We now return you to Magic 92.5.